Hello, everyone, to a brand new episode of the Ruthless Aggression Era podcast. As always, I am your host, Mel Matt, and joining me tonight is.
Mox. The crowd goes mild.
Yeah, me and Mox
Mox
joining.
from.
Go on.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, me and Mox joining forces once again because last night we did a brand new episode of Violent Wrestling Podcast. That podcast made us come back last night, so
I'm back.
if only AA was here.
Yeah, I started to get in contact with her. I wasn't. Usually her Fridays are kind of packed as it is, so I
Yeah.
just left it alone. And plus, just two of us hanging out. Something new, something we haven't done before.
Yep. So tonight, this episode is. I'm gonna love this episode because this is an episode that I've been really wanting to do ever since the podcast started. It's a podcast I've been looking forward to all week. Tonight is going to be a double episode because not only are we going to be talking about WWE SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, we are going to be talking about WWE Anthology, which is an album that Mox just absolutely adores.
Oh, the sarcasm's coming through quite nicely.
So yeah, that's going to be something to look forward to. And I guess we'll
I'll
go.
like half this show, the second half. Stay tuned.
Yeah, but we are going to go ahead and start off with SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. And the reason I'm kind of combining these two things together is because I didn't feel like we could get a full episode out of the video game because there's not too much to say about it. But I still thought it would be interesting. I try to look at everything that the Ruthless Aggression Era has to offer. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, it's a game that came out, believe it or not, on Halloween of 2002. So that's definitely something.
Yeah, just to give, I've never played this game. The knowledge I have of it has come from you and some internet searches. So but I did see that it came out Halloween 2002. Like, well, that's interesting.
Like, who cares about trick or treating? I'm staying inside playing SmackDown.
That's what you should be doing.
Oh yeah. And I don't remember when exactly I got this game because I think I got this game. I want to say 2006 or 2007. I think because I didn't get a PS2 until around that time. So I got this from.
It's exclusive to the PS2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is pretty much how a lot of the WWE games were, because there were certain games that were exclusive to some systems, like the SmackDown series, and then SmackDown vs. Raw up until 2007. It was exclusive to the PS2. Nobody else had it. Like the SmackDown series, PS2 exclusive, WrestleMania 19 exclusive to the GameCube, the Raw series was exclusive to Xbox, so a lot of those exclusive, and you don't really see that anymore. Kind of like you kind of do now, because God of War and Spider-Man are going to be exclusive to the PlayStation 4, but other than that, you don't really see too much exclusivity or whatever the word is nowadays.
Nintendo would maybe be the exception to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, back then it was. I don't know if it was a marketing genius or a marketing foul. Like, if you wanted this game, you had to have this console or buy this console.
Probably a bit of both, really. So SmackDown Show Your Mouth, and I ended up getting this from GameStop. Around 2007 or so, and I ended up getting it used for $7.99.
Can't beat that.
No. And on the back, well, it's on the front cover, which is pretty interesting because now it's like it's a big deal to be on the cover because there's only one person that makes the cover nowadays. But back around this time, they put a bunch of people on the cover, and on the cover of this game are Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Chris Jericho, Booker T. And on the front of the cover, the very front of the cover, he's pointing at you. He's yelling at you to play this game. It's Triple H.
He's taking that it's time to play the game super serious.
Oh, yeah. And I think it just kind of goes to show you, it's kind of like who were the top people in WWE or on Raw or SmackDown or whatever in 2002. And it was, for the most part, these guys on the cover.
Yeah. A note that will come up later, who's not on the cover. Wasn't this a sequel to the first? I can't remember if it was Bring It In or the first SmackDown exclusive game.
Yeah, this is the fourth SmackDown game because the first two, SmackDown 1 and SmackDown 2, Just Bring It, were on the PS1.
Okay.
No, it was Know Your Role. It was Know Your Role. SmackDown 2, Know Your Role was on PS1 along with with SmackDown 1. In 2001, it went to the PS2 for SmackDown Just Bring It, and now we have SmackDown Show Your Mouth here in 2002.
Okay.
And on the back cover,
go ahead.
Go on.
Sorry. No, I was. This came out when I was. I'm a console nerd. Like I buy old consoles, and before I got the PlayStation 4, or Santa brought it for my son this past Christmas, I haven't bought anything new since the PlayStation 2, and never got to this game. That's about the. I didn't buy the PlayStation 2 in 2002. I had bought it when it came out, and I had like the Spider-Man 2 game and Crash Bandicoot. I think no, and it doesn't matter where I will rabbit trail for an hour. But I had a small collection of PS2 games, and then I hadn't bought another console that wasn't vintage or old until 2017. So yeah. I'm interested to hear your take on.
Yeah, well, on the back cover, it's a whole new season of SmackDown. Build your own drama with real WWE storylines, and they show a picture of Edge shaven, Kurt Angle bald. An all new. Yep. And then we have an all-new draft, and that's Vince McMahon holding up a SmackDown contract to Ric Flair, as well as Brock Lesnar at Judgment Day 2002. We have interactive backstage areas, and it's Brock Lesnar locking Rob Van Dam, it seems, in the box.
And then we have all just on the back cover.
Yeah, just all on the back cover. And then we have What You Gonna Do, and it's Hulk Hogan pointing the finger at Triple H at Backlash 2002. And then we have Triple H and The Rock just standing there on the cover, on the back cover.
That's a very busy back cover.
Oh yeah. And as far as the gameplay goes, I think it's pretty good. Like if you've ever played a SmackDown game at that point in time, there's not much of a learning curve there. It's basically the same control scheme. X is the strike, O is the grapple. I believe L1 is to grab a weapon, or is it R1? I don't know. It's one of those two. But the controls are are pretty basic as it is. There's not much to really say about it.
Something that I could probably go out and if I could find it used or whatever, purchase and probably not get frustrated with, or like everything's all different.
Yeah, I think so. Like it's a pretty easy game to play, really, and it can be pretty addictive. And the arenas are all going.
I was going to say I might have to actually search these things and find them, just to see A, what I missed, and B, like just for the nostalgia of it all.
Yeah, and so the arenas in the game are pretty much like 2001, 2002. It kind of goes from like I want to say it goes from like SummerSlam 2001 to around King of the Ring 2002 or Vengeance 2002 actually. So it does cover more or less a full calendar year in terms of that, which they always did. Like, but one thing I was kind of disappointed of, I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get the invasion stage, the invasion arena in this game. I don't think it has been in any game in WWE history, which is kind of a shame because I think it's a really cool arena.
Yeah, that would have been neat to be included, especially in that time. Like it was, but at the same time, looking back, I could see why they didn't.
Yeah, and so you can actually ride the Undertaker's motorcycle in this, and you can even climb like the Titantron and jump off of it. Like you can climb like the SmackDown Fist and jump off the SmackDown Fist.
See, I definitely have to seek this out. And isn't this the one where there's the I don't know what it's called, the train station?
Yeah, that is in this game as well.
Okay, that's, and if the research I've done, this was the first WWE branded game.
Indeed. Well, it's kind of a gray area here because there was a game, WrestleMania 18, that came out exclusively for the GameCube around June or so. And like the cover of the game, it's WWE. The game disc itself is WWE. But in terms of the actual game itself, it's all still WWF.
Okay. I'll have to get on my crack research team about that.
I mean, I wouldn't play WrestleMania. I wouldn't play WrestleMania 18 if I were you. That's kind of an awful game, but that's neither here nor there. But as far as SmackDown Show Your Mouth goes, I guess we can go into season mode. Roster is pretty good. I don't know. It doesn't feel as dated as Just Bring It did, and I'm going to be comparing this game to Just Bring It quite a bit. I think this is a much better game than Just Bring It. I think Just Bring It is, honestly, I think it's very, not necessarily overrated. I do not think it's a good game at all. I don't know, just something about it. Like there's no proper story mode in it. Commentary is awful. Roster is kind of outdated. I don't know. It's just not. There's barely any arenas in it. It's not a game that I really go back to play a bit. At least not as much as this one, anyway.
So it's not high up on your recommended list for people like myself that might want to go back and try to find to buy these games and check them out.
No, I wouldn't play Just Bring It at all. Just Shut Your Mouth, on the other hand, definitely play SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. I think that's a great game. The roster.
Go ahead. I was just going to bring up the roster myself because there's a glaring omission And looking back now, it's
And who would it be?
you said well, Brock and you said Randy Orton made the cover, right?
Or Brock's on the cover. Randy Orton is on the cover, but he is in the game.
Okay. Who out of that class isn't in the game?
I don't know. I think everybody's. Well, John Cena isn't in the game. He's not in the
John
game.
Cena. John Cena.
And he was on TV at this point in time, but he wasn't really doing anything of note.
Yeah. He wasn't what we know John Cena now. You know, this wasn't he still wearing those trunks?
Yeah, at this time he was. I think around the time the game was released, he started to become the rapper, basic Thuganomics gimmick that got him over.
I just going through the list of the roster playable characters and him not being on it. Like, huh.
I mean, from what I remember, I think the roster is pretty good. There are definitely several people that kind of make it outdated because some of them either got fired or sort of retired by the time this game came out. Guys like DDP and X-Pac and guys like that who were either went to TNA or just had to retire by this point in time.
Did I misread something that X-Pac replaced Kevin Nash?
He replaced Scott Hall.
Or Scott Hall, sorry. Yeah, that was correct information that Scott Hall wasn't in the game and they replaced him with X-Pac.
Yeah, because that's what happened in real life. Because I don't know. It's kind of weird because Scott Hall, he was definitely on his way out at that point in time, but Hogan had just left, and X-Pac ends up replacing him, which is kind of funny that freaking X-Pac replaces Hulk Hogan and something.
That is amusing. That if you think about the parameters of, that's like okay.
But yeah, I would say it's a pretty good roster. And going on to season mode, probably at this point in time, definitely the best season mode out of all the SmackDown games, because SmackDown 1 and 2, there was season mode there as well, but there wasn't much to it. There wasn't much of a story. It's basically you play matches, you win, and you just move on. Like that's really all you do in those games. Just Bring It. To say that Just Bring It has a story mode would be friggin' laughable. It would be just laughable because there barely is a story mode in that game. Like you do one Raw, one SmackDown, WrestleMania. That's it. That is literally all there is to it.
Ooh, ouch.
But the thing with Just Bring It also is that it's sort of evil in the sense that you have to play story mode over and over again, and you have to make certain choices to unlock certain things, like arenas or wrestlers like Jerry Lynn or guys like that.
Oh, yeah, I'll probably take a hard pass on that.
Not to mention that Just Bring It takes up a bunch of space on your memory card.
And when you're saying season mode, is that the same as career mode or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on a bit. Let me go ahead and get Just Bring It case, and I can make my case about the memory card. Hold on just a moment. All right, so I got the Just Bring It case here. So we're going to compare it to SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, and SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, the memory card, it has 229 kilobytes, which not too bad. Mox, what do you think the memory card space for Just Bring It was?
Oh Lord! And given that time frame, the memory cards were not big. I would say, just guessing, and with you saying it takes a lot, we're talking well over a few megabytes.
Yeah, SmackDown Show Your Mouth has 229 kilobytes. SmackDown Just Bring It, 4,173 kilobytes.
Oh,
which basically takes up an entire 8 megabyte memory card, which is what I have.
yeah, that would be. And I'm not gonna, I rabbit trail a lot. I'm not going to, but that was one of my gripes were the memory cards
Yeah.
and the different games, and like, oh, this is. I can see where it's a moneymaker for Sony, but like, dang, I shouldn't have to. I mean, and they even came out with the cases to keep your memory cards in, and that's how many you had to buy. You had to keep them in their own case.
I just keep mine like in the slot on my system, to be honest.
Oh,
yeah, memory cards, they're not cheap. They're a bit better now since they're more or less retro systems. Like I just got a GameCube memory card not too long ago. It's 16 megabytes, 251 blocks. So for GameCube, that's a lot. And I believe it was like around, I want to say like maybe $12, maybe $12, maybe $16, somewhere along that line. But honestly, it was worth every penny. It really was, because I played the GameCube a
lot. The price is very reasonable, and the storage capacity itself makes the price even better.
Yeah.
But back then, like the prices were expensive, and they didn't have that much space.
And so going with career mode, you can play as pretty much anybody on the roster, or you can play as your creative superstar. And one thing about this game that is pretty unique is that, it's not just, you get a match card, you play the match, you actually get to experience the arena itself, which is basically modeled after Madison Square Garden. You can play it in a first-person mode. You can stroll around everywhere. You can talk to various superstars, which you could do and just bring it, but I think you had a time limit of about a minute or so, so you weren't really. It was very restrictive. But Shut Your Mouth, you can stroll around everywhere. You can take as much time as you want, and the world is in this game. There's even like a winter mode of outside. You can play in the snow. You can throw snowballs at your opponent. That's really cool.
See, that's the kind of stuff that I like, and B, it sucks that I missed that kind of stuff, and I don't know if it's on the newest version of 2K18.
No, it's not, unfortunately.
Yeah, but that kind of like random silliness, if you will.
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff that there's two ways to play a game. One is silly mode, and one is like serious. And I'd like to just, be able to throw a snowball at Kane or something.
Oh, yeah. And you can even play in the subway as well, which is really cool. Like, you can battle inside, like, the actual subway cars themselves, which is really neat. And that's how you get to the world, by taking one of those cars.
Seriously?
Yes, you can. Like, you actually get into a car, the door will close, and sometimes if you're the only person in it, your opponent will just do nothing about it. They will stare at you as you ride off. And that's how you get to the world.
Who's your favorite wrestler to play in career mode?
That's a really tough one. It would either have to be either Raven or Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam.
Because I was playing this game, to prepare for this podcast, and I decided to go ahead and play as Rob Van Dam. I didn't get to complete it just yet, but I did able to get a couple months into it, and I'm already a triple champion because I started the game as an Intercontinental champion because RVD is the Intercontinental champion when you start season mode. Then I won the European title at Insurrection against William Regal, and then I won the Undisputed title against The Undertaker at Judgment Day. Sorry, Taker's Minion. I had to whoop your guy once again.
Do you actually get to come out with all those belts?
Not all the belts, unfortunately.
Just whatever you're defending that match.
Right. Yeah.
Because that would be awesome if you came out like Ultimo Dragon style and just.
I think you can come out. I think you can come out with 2 belts in some games.
That'd be interesting, just for the visualization of seeing, like, you just start going for every belt. And
yeah, I do know that in WWE 12, Sheamus ends up winning all the belts. The fatal 4-way with William Regal, Drew McIntyre, and Wade Barrett at WrestleMania.
Isn't that the same year that Sheamus beat Daniel Bryan? Are we talking about, you said WWE 2012?
Well, W12 came out in late 2011, so it was a few months before that.
But isn't that the same year that Sheamus beat Daniel Bryan in 18 seconds?
Yep.
At WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Okay. You knew where I was going with that before I asked, but so.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this game. There's really not that much to say, which is why it can be an entire episode by itself, because there's not too much to say about it. But overall, I think SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, it's a great game. It's a really fun game. If you haven't played it yet, go ahead. I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Mox, do you have any final thoughts on SmackDown Shut Your Mouth before we move on?
No, just that hearing about it, I'll definitely be getting it and seeing what it's all about and going from there. A, I value your opinion, and B, things I didn't know that you told me, I'll find it somehow, somewhere, and try it myself and go from there.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and move on to WWE Anthology, the main event. And Mox,
God.
and at the time, Mox, this came out in November 2002. It came out a few days before Survivor Series. Did you listen to this album at the time, or did you know about this album back in 2002?
I knew about it. A friend of mine had it, bought it, and I listened to it some. This was before like YouTube and stuff like that. And I thought it would be more along the lines, which I guess it kind of is, but like the old WWF Volume 1 and, back in the day. I guess that is what it is, but yeah, I heard, I didn't own it. I've never bought it. I did hear it when at least most of it when it came out. And there's a reason why I didn't want to go further.
Yeah, I do remember getting this album, after school one day. I don't know if it was the day it came out, but it was like the week it came out. I ended up getting it after school, and I still have it to this day. I still keep all 3 CDs in my car. I listen to them all the time. So yeah.
I don't know how we're friends. I oh my.
So yeah, it does seem like there's going to be a bit of a debate here in terms of the anthology. I love it. You don't love it.
Oh yeah, that's putting it mildly. Like this is basically a Ms. love and Ms. hate conversation that we're accustomed to.
This is coming as a bit of a surprise to me. I was not expecting you to hate this album.
Bull crap.
So I guess we can go ahead and
yeah, take the Band-Aid off.
So I guess we can go ahead and just start from the beginning, and this spans 3 discs. And so we can go ahead and start with the first disc, the Federation Years, which basically covers from 1985 through around 1997. And so the first track is the World Wrestling Federation signature, which is that music that plays whenever a WWF broadcast starts. The World Wrestling Federation, for 50 years, the most revolutionary force in sports entertainment.
And that wasn't it's related to that wasn't their worst intro, in my opinion. Like they've done worse. Are you literally going to make me sit through track by track?
Yes.
If you do,
that's what we do. That's what we're doing here.
You owe me so big.
So yeah. I mean, the signature, it is what it is. It's not the worst, but I wouldn't say it's the best either.
No, it's just like you said, it is what it is, and it does bring back memories and stuff like that.
So we move on to the next track, probably one of the most iconic theme songs in not just WWE history, but wrestling history. Real American for Hulk Hogan, and this was performed by Rick Derringer.
Again, it's Real American. Like you putting everything controversial Hogan aside, like it's Real American.
He's a real American, Mox. He fights for the rights of every man. Fight for what's right. Fight for your life. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, you owe me. It's a classic. And for a lot of people, when they think of wrestling, they think of that song. If you want to call them casuals or whatever you want to call them, or even smarks or not so casuals, like that's, you hear that song, you have to think Hogan, and you have to think wrestling and WWF, and like it's one of those things that you hear that song and it takes you somewhere, for lack of a better phrase.
Takes you to America, right?
You son of a gun. Oh, you got payback coming.
But yeah, I do think that this is a good song. I think it's it's 80s. It's very cheesy. It's very over the top. But I think that it's part of that charm. I think you can tell that it was made in the 80s. But I think again, like it's part of the charm. It has that 80s charm.
Yeah, it's that cheesy 80s ripped and lyric like it, but in the 80s and even early 90s when that song came on, as a kid you popped like it served its purpose. Oh God, what's track 3?
Well, track 3 is Hitman by, and this is for Bret Hart, and this was a Jimmy Hart and JJ Maguire composition. So don't tell me you hate Bret Hart's theme.
No, absolutely not. Excuse me. What I didn't find out till later that Jimmy Hart helped on that. Like it wasn't that much later, but I thought that was pretty neat. But no, I don't hate his theme. The first disc, you won't see very much rebuttal from me on the first disc. Now we start getting to 2 and 3, yeah, we might have a problem. The first disc to me is basically just I think there's 2 on that disc that I like. Oh gosh, what were why is this playing in my ears? Why am I? But yeah, I'm a Bret Hart.
Yeah,
he's not my. He's on the list, but he's not my favorite. But and there's just what gets me is to sidetrack a little bit. Is Natalia having a version of it? Like I get why. Like I'm not complaining per se. Just that's Bret's theme.
yeah, like I think this is probably one of the best themes in WWE. Just a guitar squeal and just that build up to the main song. Like that guitar riff. I think this is very good. Like it really does fit Bret Hart. I can't picture anybody else coming out to this song but Bret Hart. Not even Natalia. Bret Hart and only Bret Hart.
And how he would come out to the theme just compounds how well the song and Bret worked together. Like it was like I can't put it better than you. It just fits Bret so well.
Yeah, so this song is pretty good, and then we move on to the next track out, and this is for inexplicable WWE Hall of Famers, the Bushwhackers.
You think I'd complain here. I love the Bushwhackers. Like I said, the first disc, I'm pretty much good with because it takes me back. Earlier talking about the game, like you play it silly or serious. The Bushwhackers were just fun. Their theme was fun.
Yeah, their theme was pretty fun. I'd be lying if I said I love the Bushwhackers as a team, but I don't mind the song too much.
They served a purpose. Is like I wasn't like oh my God, we're when are the Bushwhackers coming out around? But they they did what they needed to do. They a comic relief act that.
Yeah, so yeah, they were with it. They were who they were, and so we move on to the next track, probably the worst song on this one,
Oh God.
Together, and this is for Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth's wedding at SummerSlam '91, and this was actually a composition by Jim Johnson, Jimmy Hart, and JJ Maguire.
Since I want to be respectful to your audience and not cuss, I will refrain from saying anything about this song. Oh, without cussing, it's horrible.
Yeah,
It,
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that.
it's horrible.
And the thing with it is like I get what they were trying to do here, but man, it is so cheesy. Like I don't know. For me, it's just I don't know. It's just I don't know what the word to describe it as. It's just I
Crap.
don't know. Yeah, that, but it's kind of I guess overproduced, maybe a bit too cheesy, too over the top. I don't know. Like
Yeah, and excuse me, we're getting rain again. If anybody is hearing that, it's just overproduced is a good way of putting it. It's just so much, and it's so bad. Like I can appreciate over the top songs,
same here,
but
same here.
this is like over the top. Like you've already gone to the top of the mountain and started falling down the other side.
Yeah, pompous. I think is the best word to describe this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was
so
quick.
moving on.
That was quick. It sucked. What was number 6?
Well, moving on to the next track from a bad track to an amazing track. This is another Jimmy Hart and JJ Maguire composition. It's all about the money, and this is for the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. And you will be bought.
Nice. And it's obviously not the worst song on disc 1. And that was another one of those, like, it just worked so well, with the character and the theme, and even separating, if nobody knew anything about wrestling, had no idea, and you just heard that theme, it screams villainous. It's a good song, and you can just get that vibe of, like, if you did put it with a person, like, that person's not going to be a good guy.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think this is a great song. It fits DiBiase, his character at that time, so well, and it is kind of dated in a way, in the sense that it's obvious this was made in the '80s.
Yeah,
just from the sound effects that it uses. Dun, 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 dun. That kind of sound effect.
right. That's but that's what the 80s were like.
Yeah.
It definitely dates itself, but I wouldn't say it stands time by any means. But I didn't want to. It didn't make my ears bleed listening to it.
And moving on to the next track, Snake Bit, and this is for Jake the Snake Roberts.
great theme.
Yeah, very John Carpenter-ish, I thought.
I'm sorry I interrupted you. You've been giving who produced it, and I interrupted you before you could.
No, this was a Jim Johnson original
Okay.
track.
I I could still listen to that to this day with no problem. Like not just for the nostalgia of it, but just it's a good track.
Yeah, it definitely has a John Carpenter-ish kind of sound to it. That and his heel theme as well, which maybe even more so. Trust me, trust me. Do you trust me?
And as far as rest like that, like with the $1 Million Man, Hogan for that matter, Hart for that matter as well. The first few of these are like, and it fits so well, like with their character. But
Yeah,
then the hill,
totally.
the hill, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. Like just that little added touch.
And
Uh
so
oh.
we go on.
I was finishing my when that theme hit and Jake was coming out. Like, oh. What's next?
Yeah, a good theme song for a good wrestler. And then we move on to the next track, Bad Boy, and this is for Razor Ramon.
Don't like it. I know I might get some grief about it, but uh, hard to put into words, I guess. Which why am I on a podcast if I can't put things into words? It just it worked, I guess, for Razor Ramon to a degree, but the the song itself, you want to talk about overdoing it, or like it was so. And I would just use a phrase you used. That doesn't stand the up to time like at all. In my opinion, I just have my opinion.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's not the greatest song here. I don't hate it, but it is what it is, and it does feel like it was trying to be, um, it was trying to be like Those Shoes by the Eagles in the sense of the drums and all that.
It just never clicked with me. And then you forced me into the basement and making me listen to this again. It just even more so now than when he was actually coming out to it. Like, oh, that wasn't very good. No, I'm not handcuffed to a gas line or something in the basement. I was making a joke just in case anybody's like, oh crap, somebody call the cops.
So yeah, we move on to the next track, and it's the theme song to No Holds Barred.
Um, do we have to?
Yeah, we have to. We
Oh
just
crap.
have to.
It mm, it was a song.
Yeah, it's one of those songs where again I can see what they were going for. It's basically the typical 80s cheesy kind of anthem. I don't really think it worked all that well, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I can dislike something and then at the same time, like they were going for this, they just completely missed.
Right. And so then we move on to the next track, Unstable, and this is for the Ultimate Warrior.
Decent track. I can't say too much negative about it. It it was also a little overly produced, but it was I I can't say anything bad about it. It was just so much going on.
I love this track. I think this track is great. It has a really good rock edge to it. It really does fit the Warrior very well. Like when you hear this music, you know exactly who it is.
Oh yeah. And back then, like not looking back at it, but back then, oh Lord, like you get out of the couch or recliner or floor, wherever you're watching, and oh hell yeah, it's the Ultimate Warrior. Just based on the theme, not based on liking Warrior. But when that theme hit, it was a rock out moment, if you will.
Yeah, so I think this is a pretty good song. And then we move on to the next track. And hey, Mox.
Oh
Mox.
God.
I love you.
Oh
I love
crap.
you. And this is for Brother Love.
Oh please. I'm a glutton for punishment and all, but that that it I'm I'm literally like trying to. It's so bad. So bad. Oh my God, it's so bad. Who? And there had to be a team that signed off on that, and who said, "Yeah, we're gonna go with this." What? What the? Oh my! That's my analysis is just oh my, and just put my hand in my hand, like just oh my. Oh, it's so bad.
I actually don't mind this song too much. Like I really don't mind it. I really don't. I think I think it's enjoyable, and I think it's obvious what they were going for. It does feel like they were going for like this kind of churchy sermon kind of feel to it because that's basically what Brother Love. That's basically what Brother Love was. He was basically a preacher. He wasn't preaching the word of God, but he was preaching the word of love.
Yeah,
So
and
I think it fits. I think it fits him.
oh, it fits him. It's just god awful. And for those that, um, and I like Bruce Pritchard, especially later,
Same
um,
here.
was Brother Love, the character, but love him, Bruce Pritchard. Liked Brother Love, but that damn song.
But hey, Mox, just because I love this song
I,
doesn't
s-
mean I like this song.
I, I will never be a guest again. If you, oh, I am handcuffed in the basement. Do call the cops because oh, can we go to the next one, please?
Yeah. Let's move on to the next one. I think this one's probably, I think this one you'll probably like a bit better. Cool, cocky,
You
bad.
think?
Cool, cocky, bad. This was written by Jimmy Hart, and this is for the Honky Tonk Man.
Oh, yeah. Of course, I'm gonna like it better than the track we just spoke of. But this is one that it does not date well, like at all. They just like with the 80s synthesizers and like they went all all in on how can we recreate Nashville kind of sound, and they were off by a decade or two.
Well,
It
I think,
works. It fits its character.
yeah, yeah. I actually do really like this song. I actually think this is a great song. I think it fits Honky Tonk Man. I think it's great. You know, I think it's great. Honky Tonk Man himself sings it. It's obvious that they were trying to go for like this '50s rockabilly kind of Elvis type sound because that's what Honky Tonk Man's whole character was. He was basically like an Elvis
Yeah,
impersonator, but and I think it really works.
I, I'll take back some of my harshness because that is what they were going for. They were going for, decades before, and it did fit them. Just like with a few of the others, like when you heard it, you knew who it was, and you would, and at least in my case, just boo the TV.
Yeah, he's got Peggy Sue beside him. The colonel is in the back. He's coming to your town in a pink Cadillac. He's the honky tonk man. He's the honky tonk man. He's cool. He's cocky. He's bad.
I'm still trying to think of how we're still friends. It's bad enough you made me listen to this stuff already, but then so and it's middle ground for me. It's not the best, but it certainly isn't the worst.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. And we move on to the next track. 1, 2, 3. And this is for the 1, 2, 3 kid.
I really like this track. Surprise. I'm not all doom and gloom.
I like this track fine. I wouldn't say I love it, but I do like it. I think it fits the 1, 2, 3 kid fine. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't grate me as much as the one a couple tracks ago. But it doesn't scream excellence, but it doesn't holler bullcrap. It's again like the middle of the road kind of. Will I play it just because I love it so much? No. Will I want to break stuff because it comes on? No. And it at the time it like a lot at the time. It fit.
Yeah,
After he got that theme after he beat Razor,
yeah.
and
Because he
it
was
just became.
because he was
Go ahead.
just a kid. He was just a kid beforehand, and after he beat Razor Ramon, he was the 1, 2, 3 kid.
Yeah, and it just kind of, and it had been a long while before he beat Razor on Raw that we had seen that kind of upset,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a, I don't know now how long it lasted, but there was a movement for, because Scott Hall at the time, Razor Ramon, was, the bad guy. He was the badass. He was the show. No, that doesn't make sense. He wasn't the show, but he was a legitimate, like, beat Razor
He was one
Ramon
of
if
the top
you're
heels.
nobody. Yeah, and them switching. I don't even think the kid came out to a theme to
He
that
was just in the
match.
ring.
Yeah, he was already in the ring, and then we got Razor coming out. But what they did with that, it works so well with the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 kid. Make a theme about 1, 2, 3. That worked.
Yeah, it's hard for me to believe that 1, 2, 3 kid and X Pac are the same person. Like I can't believe that. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, it's true, but they're, and I'll keep my opinions about Sean Waltman to myself for now. But yeah, they're completely different. Like, that's not who we saw later in NWO and WCW and other things that I won't mention. I got.
Yeah. And so we move on to the next track, Sweet Love and Arms, and this is for Bertha Faye. Oh, my sweet Bertha Faye. What words could I ever possibly say to keep you here in these loving arms forever?
I will hang up on you. I, I don't. I don't even know what to say. Cheesy. You want to talk about cheesy?
Yeah.
What the hell was this?
Well, I think I know what they were going for because Bertha Faye's entire gimmick was that she was from the trailer park and she dated Harvey Whippleman. And so I think this might have Harvey Whippleman on vocals. I don't know because it sounds kind of like him, but I'm not 100% sure.
Is this when she was putting Harvey Wimpleman between her breast and rubbing his face,
Um, I don't
or was
know. I
that
don't know.
another time?
I'm
When
not sure.
I forget. I wanted. I think it was Harvey that she was. I'm gonna have to go with Harvey that he was entranced with her, and she was doing all kinds of things that they wouldn't do now. But yeah, Bird the Fae. That happened.
I mean, I get what they were going for because their whole gimmick was that they were from the trailer park, and it does have kind of like a country-ish kind of vibe to it. So I get what they were going for with the song.
Oh yeah, that's as generic and meh. as it is. Like, yeah, I can see what they were trying to do. Something I will not actively seek out to play, especially after you just did your rendition.
Well, the renditions are going to keep on coming because the next track.
I know.
Oh, Flash, you are so funky. This is Can't Get Enough for Flash Funk.
Hey, and don't like the. I mean, the track is the track, but I'm a huge Flash Funk, Too Cold Scorpio, Mark, seen him a lot in little towns and gymnasiums, and he was always so nice and stuff. So I won't besmirch his theme, as silly as it was. Really good dude in person.
Yeah, I do like the song quite a bit. Too Cold Scorpio, Flash Funk, whatever you want to call him. Great wrestler. And I really like this theme quite a bit.
Another one of those that it fit him.
Oh,
like
yeah.
and it's still not even. I think we're top 5 now, or let's call it bottom 5. Like it's not the worst on this disc. Are we still on disc 1?
Yeah, we're still on disc 1.
Oh gosh. Oh, at least it gets better from here to some degree.
Probably not this next track, because the next track is I Know You Want Me, and this is for Sunny.
That speaking of not fitting, like it fit, I guess, to some degree, but it didn't.
No, it didn't. I think this song is awful, and I never got the appeal of Sunny. I never got the appeal of her.
It just, the song didn't work. The song didn't work with her. It just wasn't. It was a bad mix. Thank you for not singing it to me, though.
Nah, because that song is awful. As is this next track, I'll Be Your Hero for the Lex Express.
Son of a crap. That's the second worst song on this disc. That was just capital A awful.
Yeah, this song it's terrible. It's just terrible. Like it's kind of like a funny song in a way. It's like a meme a little bit, because I do remember that they did the "This Is Your Life" for the Rock segment on Raw, and Rock's old high school football coach came out to this song for some reason.
Oh my! Nothing about this worked. The song sucked. It didn't fit.
It doesn't work as a wrestling theme, certainly.
Yeah, I mean it was a calamity of errors. Like who? Again, like, and there's people, giving this the thumbs up, before it makes air. Who were those people that said this is a good idea? Like, they need to be punched in the face.
But yeah, this is an awful song, just terrible. Like, and it's the longest song out of all the songs on this entire album. This is the longest song on the album at 4.5 minutes. It feels a lot longer than that, because this song is
gotta make Lex look strong.
But
that
you know
was just
what?
a disaster.
Yeah, but you
not
know
just
what?
The song. Go ahead.
No, go on.
I was just, the whole thing was a disaster. That song, the Lex WWE put the whole thing was just a massive failure.
And so, you know what? But hey, it gets better with this next track. Oh, oh, Sean, sexy boy for Shawn Michaels, and this was a Jimmy Hart and JJ Maguire composition.
Now, this is a song I will, if I'm skimming YouTube or just start some themes on YouTube and have autoplay on, and I'm working or doing something else, comes on. I like this theme. I like this theme so much.
Yeah, it fits Shawn Michaels so well, especially at that time.
Oh, at that time, that was whoever, you already said who wrote it, but how that was conceived and all that, and it just meshed so well with his character at the time, and he played it to perfection.
Yeah, I think the song is great. It's pretty catchy. It's a really really enjoyable song.
I mean, you can't help but, well, maybe some people can because everybody has different opinions, but I can't help but kind of move my shoulders. I'm old, so my hips don't work that well, but like, just your boy toy. It's a good it's a good pop song, if that makes sense. Like it kind of
Yeah.
transcends just being a wrestling theme. Like it's a good pop song.
Yeah, totally. And we move on to the next track, Los Boricuas. And this is the Los Boricuas theme. Who who remembers Los Boricuas? Honestly, who remembers them?
I remember them not off the top of my head, but once that came up last night when you handcuffed me in the basement and made me listen to this again. But when that came on, like, oh God. Like it came back like very quickly. And I couldn't even tell you just from listening to the theme to them, like if it fit or not, because I vaguely remember them. I don't remember if their theme fit them or not. They were kind of, I don't want to say throwaway because I'm not that kind of person, but I don't remember their gimmick or matches or if that makes sense. Like
Mm-hmm. It was Savio
like I
Vega's.
yeah,
Savio Vega's stable.
but I don't remember. Like, there wasn't when I was trying to come up like, oh, that match or this happened. I couldn't, like, beyond Savio Vega being the leader. Like so I couldn't say if it fit them, if it didn't fit them. I honestly don't remember.
I think it fit them okay, and I actually do like this song.
The song's decent enough.
Yeah.
I just couldn't put the song with them in a particular time or time frame. Like I was just like, hey, I remember the song, I remember them. I just don't remember the two being together.
Yeah. And so we move on to the next track, Schizophrenic, and this is for Mankind.
Might be my. I really like the song. Hold on, my microphone fell. Really like the song. Might be my favorite Mankind song. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. But it was so dark, and during the time when he was using this as a theme, it fits so well. Dude was effing crazy.
Yeah, I really like this theme. I think it fit Mankind, the deranged, schizophrenic character they had at that point in time so well. I think it fit them very well.
Oh yeah, and it's not a bad theme to listen to outside of a wrestling aspect. Like it's good music.
Oh yeah. Then we move on to the next track, Smoking, and this is for the Smoking Guns.
Oh man, that happened.
Yeah, I mean, I get what they were going for. I don't like this theme.
And neither do I. I get what they were like you, what they were going for, but it was another swing and a miss.
Yeah, then we move on to the next track, Sumo, and this is for Yokozuna.
Eh, I'd have to put this under the category of I'm not gonna search it on YouTube, but worked at the time, I guess.
Yeah,
If we're just keeping it strictly to character and like it's not the worst, but it not the best.
yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. I do like this song. I actually think this is it's actually kind of a peaceful song, honestly.
Yeah, it didn't fit in that degree of Yokozuna's not supposed to be peaceful. This song is actually very relaxing, for lack of better. Like it's just a good song. Kind of missed like the intimidation factor that Yokozuna was supposed to be bringing.
Well, it does fit sumo.
Well, yeah, there's that.
I mean, it does feel like something you would hear at the Sumo Bash show, which is another shout out to Tigger's Minion. He's a big fan of the Sumo Bash show.
Yeah, I'll give it that. It does fit that.
Then we move on to the next track, Snapped, and this is for Psycho Sid.
Really like this song, this theme. Um, this falls under the category of why did they mess with it later? Like it was. This is the one where they start with the psycho theme, kind of. Ring, 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 ring.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that but this is also one where, yeah, his name was Psycho Sid. That theme could have been used on a different wrestler better, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
An awesome theme. Didn't quite fit the character and didn't fit Sid. It did, but it didn't. I don't know how to.
Yeah. I think it fit him fine.
He wasn't for the Psycho moniker. He wasn't really Psycho. You know, he didn't. I know they tried to, but he didn't uh, put Psycho out there. Like
Well, I got news for all the skeptic. Sorry, let's do this again. We're live, pal.
yeah, like he again loved the theme. Thought it could have been put on a different wrestler. You know, don't ask me who, but
Who?
it just I don't know who. That's why I said you're. I am blocking you on every social media and your number, and I
You and
couldn't
I
tell you
know.
who.
Because you and I know that you're only half the man that I am, and that I have half the brain that you do.
Jeez.
So moving on to the next song.
Yeah, let's break a leg and move on to the next. Too soon.
Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, moving on to
That
the
was
next song.
crucial.
Yeah. Moving on to
And
the
you know,
next
some
song.
people still think. I'm sorry to. Some
No,
people
it's
think
fine.
that was made up, like it was kayfabe and like it didn't really happen.
Oh, what happened?
Like, dude, legit broke his leg. There, they didn't, take a commercial break and come back and put a lot of makeup and stuff like that, and like he legit broke his leg.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
think it's funny that oh, this is fake. No, dude, he legit like you can't do that with effects. Like he anyway. What's next? Something tells me it's gonna be bad.
It is Tell Me a Lie, and this is for Shawn Michaels' quote unquote farewell back in '95.
Yeah, there's been worse.
I guess, but this it sort of falls into like pompous, overproduced style of Together, you know.
Yeah, Sean going through that time from 95 to what 97, 98.
Yeah.
I got I don't know why they changed it to begin with. And it just the song's mediocre and it didn't work for me as a theme for Sean.
Well, it was never a theme. It was
Well,
just
I mean,
like a video
like
package.
yeah, it didn't correlate. Like it didn't. I didn't mean theme. The music didn't
Right.
suit Sean for a video package at that time. Like it,
Well, next track is Enough is Enough, Owen Hart. Enough is enough,
love
and it's time for a change.
love it. Love the track. Love Owen Hart. love that track being on Owen Hart. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, this song is it's great. It's great. And so moving on to the next track, With My Baby Tonight, performed by Road Dogg for Jeff Jarrett.
I don't like you.
Spend
I don't
my
like you at all.
days working hard on the go, but the hands on the clock keep spinning too slow. Cause I can't wait to be alone with my baby tonight.
Well, you stop. Gorilla Monsoon. Gorilla Monsoon reference. Next.
Yeah,
God,
sung by SmackDown booking extraordinaire Road Dogg. But that's another topic altogether.
Yeah, he took Teddy Long to the next level.
Yeah, this song honestly, it's so bad it's good, I think. It fit Jeff Jarrett at the time.
There's a lot of songs that are so bad it's good. In my opinion, this is just so bad it's not good.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
There's few so far with what few misses like that fit, the character. I guess it fit, but God Almighty, it was so bad.
So moving on to the next track, Wildcat, and this is for Sable.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's what they were doing at the time.
Yeah, it's okay.
Put that in the list of I won't seek it out to listen to it, but it happened.
Yeah. And then we're
still on disc one.
We're almost done with disc one. We're almost done with disc one. And so moving on to the next track, You Start the Fire. And this is for a Bret Hart tribute package around 96 or so.
Forgive me, I didn't hear that one and I don't remember it off the top of my head. And I'm sure you're willing to sing it.
I think the song's terrible, honestly.
I don't remember it, and
to me, it didn't really make it. To me, it didn't really make a lot of sense.
To be honest, I don't remember what the tribute was even about.
Same here.
Was this when I'm trying to think. Did he get hurt or
I think it was on hiatus for much of 96.
I remember nothing about that. I'm not the Bret Hart being on hiatus, just the tribute song and why he why it happened to begin with.
Then we move on to the next track, Diesel Blues, and this is for Diesel. Honk honk.
I really like this track at first, like in the time and watching, like I like Diesel. I like Kevin Nash. It I'd say pretty much fit him. I mean, you can't be named Diesel and your theme start with a diesel horn blowing and it not worked.
Yeah, I think it works for Diesel. I really like this song.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It served its purpose.
Yeah, and so we move on to the next track, Dude's Shack. And this is for Dude Love.
One of those silly. It will never be on my. Thank you. It will never be on my favorite music list. But it was so fun when he came out to it. I mean,
Yeah.
Mick makes anything work.
Yeah, I think this really works for Dude Love. It absolutely fits him.
Yeah. I agree. It fit that persona. You could tell he just had fun with it.
Yeah, so we move on to the next track, Power. And this is for the Nation of Domination.
We are the nation of domination.
Yeah, I think this is an amazing track. And maybe it's just me, but have you ever noticed how the Nation of Domination theme sort of slowly morphed into the Rock's theme?
Oh, absolutely. I was going to bring that up myself. Going from NOD to the Rock we know now, there was a gradual transition, but same underlying tone.
Yeah, so this song is great. And so we move on to the second to last track on disc one, the Corporate Ministry theme.
Love it.
Yeah, I think the song is awesome. Like, just say what you will about the Corporate Ministry itself. It was a dumb stable, but I think the idea of a demonic version of Vince McMahon's theme was just absolutely brilliant. The only question I have, though, is why is this on the Federation Years disc? It should be on the Attitude Era disc.
Yeah, because it came later. If it's on disc one, it's on the wrong disc.
It is.
But yeah, it just it screamed so much of you son of a b with Taker and Vince, like, oh crap.
Yeah.
The theme itself is great, but when you're watching and you know that theme would come on, like you start questioning things, like, why Taker, why? Great song, missed the mark on it being an entrance. It worked if it was just on one side of the spectrum, but it didn't on another.
Yeah. And so we move on to the last track on the Federation Years disc, the Dudester, and this is for Dude Love. I don't remember him using this theme at all, and I think this is a terrible song.
Okay, before I say anything else, thank God we're done with this disc. And I didn't remember it either. I just listened to it last night. Oh my, this is just bad. I I vaguely remembered it later after I heard it again. Yeah, he did use that. I think it was just briefly. My God, that song is atrocious.
Yeah, and so we wrap up disc one of WWE Anthology. What are your final thoughts on disc one?
Disc one mainly a few bright spots, but not complete garbage, but a lot of garbage. Overall, like if I was gonna give it a grade, like a letter grade, C minus to a D, something like that. And that's being kind for the nostalgia aspect. It wasn't my cup of tea. What would you give it?
I thought it was pretty good for the most part. There were definitely songs on there, but for the most part, I thought this was a pretty enjoyable disc.
I'm not always all doom and gloom. It did. It was a hard listen with a few bright spots. Basically the bad were very, very bad. The mediocre, and then the few really good ones kind of weighed everything out. I'll go with C. I'll even upgrade it from a D or C minus to just an actual C, just
Yeah,
because there are a few that I go, okay, that's really good, and I'll go with a C.
yeah, I would give it maybe. I'd give it maybe a solid B.
That damn brother love song. That's a letter grade below just on its own.
Disc two, the Attitude Era, and we start with another signature. This time, the Attitude signature.
Probably my favorite opening, intro, whatever you want to call it.
Same.
That's good.
So we move on to the next song, Break It Down. And this was performed by the Chris Warren Band. And this is for D Generation X.
Great song. Great song. Great representation by DX with the song. Got great crowd reaction.
Yeah, I think this a great song fits DX very well. You know, has that kind of a Rage Against the Machine kind of vibe, and I think it works very well.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the songs, in my opinion, that even if I didn't hear it in a wrestling format, I'd listen to it. Uh, it kind of it's a great song. Like I'd listen to it even if I didn't know anything about wrestling or Degeneration X or anything like that. It hit all the marks for me.
Yeah, and so we move on to "I Won't Do What You Tell Me." This is for Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Good song.
Yeah,
And not my favorite of his, but good song.
yeah, yeah. It totally fits Stone Cold very well.
Oh, it does. It did do that.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most iconic themes in WWE.
Can you? Oh, did I just confuse myself for a minute? Or is this not Glass Shatter? Excuse
No,
me.
it's not Glass Shatters. It's "I Won't Do What You Tell Me." So
Okay.
it's basically his usual theme that he comes out to.
Okay. I confused myself for a second. I apologize. Yeah, that's one of those songs where, getting back to Hogan and Real American Hero, like, you, even if you don't follow wrestling, it you know what that song is. If I'm remembering correctly, which,
Yeah, yeah. And so we move on to the next track. It's Billy Gunn's theme. It's terrible.
next,
Yeah, this is a terrible song.
are we talking about Ass Man?
Yeah,
Oh, yep. Fast forward,
yeah,
it's just bad. Like,
it's awful.
agreed.
Moving on, and we're moving on to the next track, and I cannot believe they actually put this song on here, the Brawl for All theme.
Keep in mind, guys, I'm locked in the basement. Help! Eh, it it's not a good song. The whole Brawl for All fiasco just leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I actually do like this theme. It has a good rock edge to it. Now, the Brawl for All itself was terrible, but at least had a good theme song.
Yeah, it had a good riff. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'll give you that. It's kind of hard to think about the theme without thinking about what actually happened. Like, that whole idea was garbage. But the theme itself, stand alone, not that bad.
And so I'm moving on to Gold Lust for Gold Dust.
I really liked. I really liked it. Like, it's not for everybody, but something about the drumming and the, like, everything. I like the song itself, and I like Goldust coming out to it. Like, it just all worked so well together. And then the slow motion camera as he's coming out, it just all fit.
Yeah, I think this theme song is great. It fits him very well. The orchestral arrangement is just fantastic. So moving on to California, and this was the WrestleMania 2000 theme.
Oh, I hate to ask you to sing. Are they even? There's not even. There's not
California.
words in this, are they?
Yeah, there are. It's a rap song. And do you know who sang this?
No, um, which WrestleMania?
WrestleMania 2000.
Oh, oh, is it Ice T?
No, it's Isaac Hayes' son.
Oh, this is one of the ones I didn't get to yesterday. So I can't offer much on this one.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good theme. You know, if it's obvious that they to go for was California Love by Tupac and Dr. Dre, and I think it works
Yeah,
fine. It's not the best theme, but you know, it is what it is.
I mean, if you're gonna be in Cali and have a theme called California, and it being a rap song, yeah, you're probably trying to do a California love kind of version.
Yeah,
I'll have to. Sorry about that.
that's fine.
That's one I didn't catch up on last night, and honestly I don't remember it just off the top of my head, but so I can't really review it or give input.
Yeah, and moving on to the next track, "Who I Am," and this is for China.
Uh, this was her first theme.
Yeah, more or less, it was her solo theme after she left Triple H. At least in storyline, anyway.
Yeah, right. It this one I did start but skipped. Like,
Honestly, I don't blame you because I don't think the song is very good.
and it doesn't. It's one of those that doesn't work for
I don't
me,
think
I
it
guess.
does either. It's very repetitive as well. I thought.
It just didn't fit the eighth wonder of the world moniker that they were she was billed as. Like it didn't correlate very well. And the song itself, like I say, I got about 30 seconds in, and next.
So moving on to the next track, "The Real Deal," and this is for D'Lo Brown.
Okay, I really like this song. I don't know why. I really like this song.
Yeah, I think the
I'm a
song is pretty good.
I'm a sucker for beats and stuff to that effect. And what I look for it on YouTube, like search it out, maybe, maybe not. But hearing it, like I didn't fast forward it. Like I'm a sucker for that kind of head bobbing, no pun intended, for D'Lo Brown. That kind of rhythm it had. Yeah, it was decent enough.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good song. So moving on to the next song, "Deadly Game," and even though the album says it's in your house theme, it was actually the Survivor Series '98 theme.
That's going to be another. Don't remember it offhand. Oh, Deadly Game.
Yeah.
Oh, it it accomplished the job of Survivor Series '98. Survivor Series '98. Shoot, I can't. What was the big match? I don't know. Sorry for.
It was a one night tournament to determine the new WWE champion because the WWE championship was vacated for a number of months after Stone Cold got screwed out of it by Undertaker, Kane, and Vince McMahon, and so they had a one night tournament to decide who the new WWE champion would be. And it ended up being The Rock winning it all after Vince McMahon pulled the Montreal screw job and screwed over Mankind.
That's right. Okay, thank you. It worked out because we heard it a lot leading up to Survivor Series. I say a lot, like it was played, like, oh, like you had that doubt of what's going to happen, where's this leading. It worked for a pay-per-view theme song, and it's not a bad song in itself.
Yeah. And so moving on to the next track, The Ultimate, and this is for Ken Shamrock.
That would be his original song.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to, excuse me, it's getting a little cold out here. Talk about a theme fitting a wrestler. That theme fit Ken. Ken, kick ass, take no prisoners, kind of like there's no playing, and the theme translated that like that. There's no. Also has a great guitar.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty decent enough theme. It fits Shamrock pretty well. So we move on to the next track, You Think You Know Me, and this is for Edge.
I won't dare say GOAT, but I absolutely love this song. It is up there on my GOAT list, GOAT being greatest of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's Edge's best theme song. That would go to "Never Gonna Stop" by Rob Zombie, but I do think this is it's a decent enough song. It kind of fits him, I guess.
If I had a number order, Never Gonna Stop would be one right above this one. Like, Never Gonna Stop is better, but this one it is so good. You think you know me. Just hearing that, come on the Titantron, like that was such a. Doesn't hurt that I'm a huge Edge mark.
Same. And so moving on to the next track, quite possibly the best song maybe on the entire album. Certainly the best on the entire disc, Blood, and this is for Gangrel.
Yes, this is. I agree. Out of again, I've missed a few songs here and there, but I love this track. I love the song. I love Gangrel having this theme. It's just so great. It the song itself is great enough, and seeing Gangrel coming out with his blood and everything about this works. The song is standalone. You put it together with Gangrel, and it just makes it even that much more better.
And so moving on, and I think this song is great. And moving on to the next song, this is the Godfather's theme.
Uh-oh. Which one?
His usual one.
Well, he switched late. Oh, we're in the Attitude Era. Sorry, I'm distracted. The whole
Yep.
train.
Yep. I think this song is
Just
great.
it's not bad. A very gimmicky
Yeah.
song. Served its purpose, and to this day, obviously, we remember it.
Yeah. And moving on to Fist. This is for DX with Mike Tyson.
Uh, oh, that song. This is one that I didn't listen to last night to get a better refresher.
It's basically Xbox theme with lyrics. That's really all it is, like with
Yeah,
different lyrics. That's all it
I was
is.
gonna say it's just a remix of or a redo. Yeah, not bad, not the best. Just heard it once, heard it several times.
It's okay.
It's
Going
not
on
to make
to
my ears bleed.
and going on to the next track. Oh, you didn't know, and this is for the New Age Outlaws.
I really enjoy this track. I really enjoy them doing this track. For again another discussion with Brian James, as a booker or whatever. But oh, you didn't know that it's like Biggie with New Day. Oh, Jetta. It just, and then even after that initial pop, like the song itself is good.
Yeah, I think the song is okay. Like it's not the best, but it's not the worst either, I guess.
Yeah, it's another one of the middle grounds for me. But I do mark for the oh, you didn't know, and then the whole theatrics that came after on TV like it. But the song itself, I like it. I won't poop on it.
So moving on to Burned. This is for Kane.
Not my favorite Kane theme. Good song.
Yeah.
Really good song. Just
I really like this one.
Not my favorite. Great, like I say, really good song. Just kind of falls in line with the switching of themes based upon what characters are doing. It's would I jam it, in my car driving down the street? Maybe.
I did. I was listening to it in the car. And moving on to the next track. Hello, ladies. And this is for Val Venus.
Choppy choppy pee pee. I love Val like that. The song, the theme, that has to fall under the category of, it is what it was.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good theme. It fits him very well.
Oh, absolutely fits him, like 100%. You have the gimmick they were running with, and the theme song they put with the gimmick, like absolutely it worked together. But as a standalone song, it's okay.
Yeah, the next track, why they put this one on the album, I have no idea. Real Man's Man for William Regal.
I'm a man's man. This, I love William Regal. Love William Regal as Steven Regal, and I think he's doing post in ring career fantastic work. You want to talk about cheesy? This song and the vignettes are just completely cheesy.
Yeah, but for me, this is a so bad it's good kind of song.
This one I will grant you. Yes, it is so bad it's good. It just what the what.
And so we move on to I Don't Suck for Kurt Angle. And this was such a weird song because it's like this weird, like rock remix that Kurt Angle only used once on a random episode of SmackDown in 2001. I don't know. Like, I just wish they would put his original theme on here rather than this weird remix.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I remembered it, but I was gonna ask you tonight. I guess now, like I couldn't remember if they used it once or maybe a couple times, but it wasn't much. Like I I couldn't remember if somebody would have reminded me last night, or had me guess. Like I would have said 3 times or fewer. And I don't.
Yeah, it's just a weird song. I'm not a fan of it.
And it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense at all.
Uh, uh, I don't get why they did that, but they did it, and now you're making me relive it. Thanks, Matt.
And so we move on to the next track, Latino Heat, and this is for Eddie Guerrero.
Yes, 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 yes.
This is a great theme.
See, this is why I put up with you through disc 1, so we can get to the later disc. I absolutely love. Not only did this fit the character, it's a good listen, and then Eddie just amplified the song with his actions, and it's. I like it. I really, really like it.
Yeah. And so we move on to the next track. It Just Feels Right, and this is for Lita.
As much as I love Lita, and I'm gonna. Lita's my favorite women's wrestler, and I'll go ahead and say it. What's the point in discussing if I can't just give my honest opinion? Lita's my favorite female wrestler of all time. As much as I love Lita, this song's good. This song with Lita didn't quite fit the bill for me.
It's a generic song. Like it didn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit Lita.
Hey, we agree. Yay.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It doesn't work. It does, I guess, to some degree, but it's not. I wanted more, expected more. Some whatever we fans demand. It felt so off.
Yeah. It's not awful, I guess, but I don't think it really works.
Right. The song itself, the theme itself, isn't that bad. Just don't put it on Lita. Like that combo didn't work.
But here is a song that does work, Sexual Chocolate, and this is from Mark Henry. This song is amazing.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Like it's and if you ever want to know or not know, but if put that song on for somebody that doesn't watch wrestling, no idea, like anything about who Mark Henry is, anything like that, just put that song on and just watch their reaction.
It's a great song, and I do remember them playing it at the very end of 12 rounds with John Cena for some reason.
and that's I don't know why music, with that new Toyota commercial playing his theme. I knew it's not new anymore, but with the JBL speakers, like Cena gets rubbed or ribbed so much with music, whether it's intentional or not, I'm not sure. I don't think Toyota sought out like let's play Cena's theme and show JBL speakers. I think that was just coincidence, but it was at the end of 12 rounds. Like that's Mark Henry's theme.
Yeah.
I do. Sexual chocolate is, if nothing else, a guilty pleasure. Not literally the song, just the song.
And so we move on to No Chance in Hell, and this is for Vince McMahon. Very good song. It absolutely fits him.
Absolutely. This is when Mr. McMahon became, or let me start. This is when Vince McMahon found more footing than he already had with Mr. McMahon. You've got no chance in hell. Like that character, you want to talk about something that fits. That's Mr. McMahon and No Chance in Hell being together.
Yeah, it works very well.
And not a bad theme, not a bad song, just outside of the wrestling aspect, it's got a decent tone to it.
Yeah. And so we move on to Oh Hell Yeah by H Blocks, and this is for Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh hell yeah. Anything Austin, I'm gonna give a thumbs up for.
Yeah. I think the song is pretty good.
Not
And,
sure why they changed direction for a little bit, but it still worked. The
yeah.
song's not bad at all.
And so we move on to If You Smell, and this is for The Rock. And it's kind of weird, this song, because he never used this particular one in the Attitude Era. I think he started using this theme for like after he returned in 2001, after Invasion. But even so, it's still a pretty good song. It really fits him very well.
Yeah, didn't he still use before he left in 2001, you know, do you smell instead of if you smell?
Well, I think it was using If You Smell around this time. It was just like, it wasn't this particular one on the album.
That's what I'm. Yeah. But we based on chronological order, with the disc, like here he should, either be using the Rock says. But anyway, Matt, I'm sorry. I have to. If you smell,
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I could go on longer, and I do that far too often, just out of the blue to my wife and son. I'll just be sitting there and do that and follow it up with later, the la 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 la. But and this is another one where the beats drive the song home. Like I love the song because it's got the good beat.
Yeah, totally.
And
I think it's very good.
and of course it fits the rock. And I'm not sure if things fit the rock or the rock does that like because he's the rock. Like the rock fits whatever you put in front of him.
Right.
Your Rudy Poo candy ass. I don't know which way that works. It good song, great theme, but with change and all, sometimes it doesn't work. But there's not a bad rock theme out there. If you just look at it as a entrance theme and the rock coming out to it, he's made all of them work. Well, not Rocket Maivia, but that's different show.
Yeah, so moving on to the next track, Bad Man, and this is for Rikishi.
This is going to be another one I can't give input on. I don't remember off the top of my head, and I didn't listen to it yesterday.
Well, this was Rikishi's heel theme that he used after he ran over Stone Cold in 2000.
If it has words, please don't sing it to me, because I can just imagine.
I'm a bad man, making bad rules. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, that theme.
Yeah.
Oh. Hard pass.
I like this pretty well. I don't think heel Rikishi ever worked, but I think this is a pretty good song.
You refreshed me a little bit just by doing some of the lyrics, but as far as musically, I don't remember how the riff or anything like that went to judge it appropriately. But if it was Rikishi during this hill run, probably not good.
Yeah, I thought it was a good song. I don't know if it really fit Rikishi, but it's a good song nonetheless, I think.
Oh, I meant to say probably not a good fit, not that it wasn't a good song.
And so we move on to Banging It, and this is for Scotty 2 Hottie.
Oh, Lord.
A very weird song with a lot of weird vocals.
It made no sense. Like even listening back, like not just didn't it make sense, then listening back, like what? what are they saying? Just one of those things that okay.
Yeah. Just so many weird vocals, like spin a little around, spin it around, spin. I don't need. Do you understand? Like, what is going on in this song?
See, and I heard you better, or could at least decipher what you were saying better than the actual theme. That's another no thanks. Like for the song or the matching it with the character. Like, oh, next.
And so we move on to 13, and this is for Taz.
Love it. Again,
Yeah.
my martyrdom will show because I love Taz, but also love the theme, love the song. Thought it fit Taz so well.
Yeah, this is a great song. Fits Taz very well. So we're moving on to We're Coming Down, and this is for the Dudley Boys. Honestly, probably my least favorite theme of theirs.
I agree there. Like it.
There just wasn't much to it.
Yeah, it's not a good song, and it didn't fit them. Like I try to forget they had that theme.
Yeah, so we're moving on to the next track, My Time by the Chris Warren Band, and this is for Triple H.
Speaking of least favorite themes,
I actually like this theme. I think this theme is great.
I like the song. I don't like the theme being on. Are we talking about the same song?
What song you thinking of?
Well, now I have three playing in my head.
One,
This was.
two. Is this on? Yo, Jimmy hit with
Oh,
that
okay.
Triple H.
Okay. Oh, then I was mistaken. Okay, this is. There was another one, whether it was a one off or short lived,
Yeah.
between the DX and the back to DX and then the game. I
Yeah,
can't remember who did that. Yeah,
there was a corporate
I do.
player when he joined the corporation, then higher brain power very briefly, and then this song.
It might be higher brain power. I'm thinking of this. I do love the 1, 2, Jimmy H. Yeah, great song. This is one of the ones that I'd listen to. You know, if it came up, like it, really good song, and for one that's the kind of music I like, that hard riff, that hard beat. I keep saying riffs and beats a lot, but we're talking about music, so but that undertone.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good song. It does fit Triple H at that time.
No, I agree
So
with that. No,
and so we move on to Rabid, and this is for Chris Benoit.
love it.
Yeah, I think this is a great theme.
Great theme, great song. Absolutely fit Benoit. No
Yeah, so
negative points.
it's a great theme. So we move on
Oh,
to how going.
I'm sorry. I just moved.
And so we move on to how do you like me now? And this is for hardcore Holly.
Very
Uh,
gimmicky.
yeah, I'm not a fan of this.
Yeah, very, very gimmicky. And nothing about it says
It's very
remember me.
generic.
Yeah.
And so we move on to Dark Side, and this is for the Undertaker. I think this theme
One
is
thing
amazing.
so do I. One thing they've always done right, even outside of my little beef with corporate ministry, Taker's always had a good theme.
Yeah.
Even later with like all the different portrayals they've had for him. And I know there's going to be some Kid Rock sucks. That was such a good theme for him. You know, at that time, if they're going with a biker gimmick, American Badass was fit so well.
Yeah, I mean it fit him. I wouldn't say it's a good song, but it did fit his
Oh,
gimmick at the
I didn't mean to say that it was a good
time.
song. It just he
Yeah.
from his debut until even now, like he all the different changes, the themes always fit with Taker. And I do. This is a really really good song. Really really good theme.
Yeah, this is a great theme. Probably my favorite Taker theme of all time.
Yeah, I'd have to give that more consideration and preparedness than I'd actually have to sit and make a list before I said it was my favorite. But I could see where it would be like, if I went through the different themes and listed them from least to first, it might be first. But I would want more time to make sure that my opinion was better recognized, not recognized, but better suited before I gave it. I'm a sucker for old school Taker.
Yep. And so we move on to the last track on this disc, Break Down the Walls. And this is for Chris Jericho.
Love it.
Yeah, this is great.
It not just fitting characters or whatnot. It's a good song.
Yeah, it fits Jericho very well.
Absolutely. And just everything about this, or the song, the theme, the performer, how that all came together. Just phenomenal job.
And so that is disc two of the Attitude Era. Disc two of WWE Anthology. Attitude Era disc is done. What do you think of the Attitude Era disc?
Well, let's see. It wasn't the WWF era, the 85 to 96. So that's already some major points. I, overall, it's a solid listen. Like if I had it on CD and say I'm traveling or something, I'd put it in my car and travel. There'd be a few I would skip, but it's B plus. Not a reference to Daniel Bryan, but it was a lot better than the first. There's so many A's. Like, really great song, really fit. Couple of misses. I might even bump it up to an A minus.
I would do that as well.
It really, taking everything into consideration, not just songs, but who the songs were on. Yeah, I'd go A minus.
Yeah, and so we move on to the third and final disc of W Anthology now. And this is basically 2002 theme songs in WWE. And so we start with the first theme, which is the W signature for the Ruthless Aggression Era, at least the first half of it anyway. This is okay.
Yeah, this is. We were already foreshadowed or forewarned. Ruthless aggression, but when they changed the theme, okay, now we are in a different era. It still like it better than the current opening.
Yeah. And so we move on to the next song, next big thing, and this is for Brock Lesnar. And I'm not a Brock Lesnar fan. Probably never have been, probably never will be. With that said, though, it's a pretty good song.
Good song. Good song. I'm in the same boat with you, with Brock, but good song, fit character. Uh, Not something I'm gonna rush to listen to again. Mainly because of the character, not the song.
Yeah. So the next track is Dead Man, and this is for The Undertaker.
Was he going one-on-one on SmackDown, player?
I think
This is probably.
this is okay.
It's okay. It's probably again, since he was brought up towards the end of this too. I would really want to sit down and make a list. This might be my least favorite Taker theme.
Mm, I would say it's my least favorite, but it's one of my least favorites.
What would be your least favorite?
It's one that's coming out later on, so we can talk about that when we get
Oh,
to it.
okay. Oh yeah, there's two on this track or on
Yeah,
this disc. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'll go ahead and just don't remember what I just said because yeah, that comes up.
yeah. So this is the okay theme. We move on to the next track at last, and this is for Christian. I absolutely love this theme. This is awesome.
It's great. It's really, really good. Musically, to again step outside the relation to wrestling, musically, it's really, really good. And then you combine that with Christian at the time, and it makes it even better.
Yeah, it is like this weird like opera theme, but I think it strangely works pretty well.
Well, Christian was such a weird dude, like in character, and it just everything came together with this theme. Like Christian was always a misfit, a blue dot, if you will, and it was such out of the norm of a theme that it worked even better.
Yeah, so we move on to the next track, which is I'm Back, and this is for Eric Bischoff. Again, great theme, fits him very well.
Fits him, but I don't like it. I'm
Really?
back.
Oh.
I'm back. Oh God, decent enough theme, just and I just not my thing. I'm back, baby.
And so we move on to the next track, Eyes of Righteousness for Reverend Devon. And I'll go and say it. I like this Reverend Devon gimmick. It didn't get over, but I do like it. And I really like this theme song. It fit his character at that time very well.
The theme song was decent. That Reverend gimmick. Oh, that was hard to get, hard to watch. The song itself is okay. The split and the gimmick that that was brutal to watch. So when I heard the theme song, I think about when when that happened. Like, oh, that was so bad. Cringe, cringe, cringe.
And so moving on to the next song, Fight. And this was the theme song for SummerSlam 2002. Me and Biff already talked about this theme a bit on the SummerSlam episode, so I won't go too much into detail here, but it's okay.
and this is going to be a one that I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, it is kind of forgettable.
So I can't give opinions on something that I don't remember. I mean, I could, but that wouldn't be true. Hey, I should be a politician. Sorry.
So moving on to 619, and this is for Rey Mysterio. This is okay. I don't know if it really fits him very well. I think Booyaka 619 is better, but it's okay.
Yeah, that I agree with you there. It when you think Rey Mysterio, you think Booyaka Booyaka 619. Like that's and this was just one of those uh what are we doing? It just didn't mesh well, in my opinion.
Yeah. And moving on to the next track, Time to Rock and Roll, performed by Lil Kim, and this is for Trish Stratus. I think this is a pretty good theme. I do think it does kind of fit Trish pretty well. Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Eh, excuse me. Good song, decent song. Not the worst song. That still belongs to a couple on disc one. And I guess to some degree it worked for Trish, but it wasn't like the best thing or even close. It one of those. Well, that happened.
Yeah. So next track, Eye of the Hurricane, and this is for the Hurricane. I think this song is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. Like this is
I,
one of those times where, yeah, it's generic, but it's generic on purpose, and it fits Hurricane very well. Like just the generic cliche, like superhero coming to the rescue kind of music. It works so well.
I, I completely agree. This is, and you brought it up a few times. Like it's so bad it works. This is absolutely so bad it works. Like I love it, and I don't know why. I just do. Like it was so because the Hurricane Helms was so over the top to begin with. And then you put this theme on top of that. Like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, totally. And so next track, King of My World, performed by Saliva, and this is for Chris Jericho. I think this is a pretty good song. I really like this.
So do I. I also like Slava, so I
Same here.
might be a little partial. But I really like the song and really at that time Jericho needed somewhat of a change, and this was a good song that suited a change.
Yeah, it fit him well.
Yeah, I mean Jericho wears 100 masks at a time, but this was a great combination of a switch and a song that goes with the switch. This was the song's great. B, it really, really worked with what they were trying to do.
Yeah, so moving on to the next track, All Grown Up for Stephanie McMahon. I'm not a fan of this. I am not a fan of this song at all.
I loathe this song. Loathe.
Because it doesn't fit her.
It doesn't do anything. Like it just it's beyond. Well, that happened. Like it's like that happened and somebody actually did this. Like it's not Brother Love level or Macho Man Elizabeth level, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, I don't think this is a very good song at all.
No.
And moving on to the next one. This also isn't very good at all. Need a Little Time, and this is for Toya Wilson. And this was
Oh
actually
God.
sung by Lillian Garcia. But I don't think this is very good at all. I don't think it really fits Toy Wilson, and it's honestly kind of a waste of William Garcia as a vocalist.
Lillian is a great vocalist. This song, not to a fault of Lillian. Oh, this was speaking of cringe. Like wow. Lillian has great pipes. Like
Oh yeah,
she's got it. This was whew. Like what is this?
yeah, it doesn't really fit either Toy Wilson or William Garcia at all.
Yeah, that somebody should have red flagged that before they decided to run with it.
And so moving on to the next track, The Game, and this is for Triple H, and this is such a weird version of the song because it's like the instrumental of what he was using before Motorhead did it, but it's like a rap version of it, and it really doesn't work.
Oh, that version. And if I recall correctly, he didn't use that version that
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, well, he used like an instrumental version of the game right before Motorhead, like from Survivor Series 2000 through I want to say Royal Rumble 2001.
Yeah.
This one on the album, he never used the song at all, and it's not surprising why he didn't because the song sucks.
Now, I thought he used it either they used it in a like a promo package or he came out to once or so and like it was never to be heard of again. It is the pits. Like I, um it's just I agree it's bad.
And so moving on to the next track, You're Gonna Pay. This is for The Undertaker. It's basically just Dead Man lyrics. That's really all it is.
And so let's just go ahead and say that this is my least favorite Taker theme.
Yeah, I would probably say that as well.
And kind of weird that they put that Triple H rap before this went. Like you go back to back with like everything's working fine. How can we mess it up? And back to back, you just showed how you can. I did
So
not like this theme. I didn't.
me neither.
Uh,
So moving on to the next song, "You Look So Good to Me," and this is for Billy and Chuck.
Speaking with Chuck Palumbo made his debut on the SmackDown game before
Yep.
John Cena.
Yeah, he did.
I don't have much to say about this theme.
Same here, honestly. It's not bad, and I can see what they were going for here, but yeah, it's not a song I would listen to a lot.
This is what you make me listen to. Handcuffed in the basement. And Brother Love over and over and over again. What's
And
next?
so moving on to the next track, "The End," and the album itself said that it was the Judgment Day theme, but this was actually the Armageddon theme.
How are they getting that wrong on the packaging
I don't know.
so much? Like you would think that they would have a proofreader, a statistician, something like no guys, that's and this is another one where I can't speak on because I don't remember it.
This is okay. You know, it's a good theme song for a pay-per-view like Armageddon.
A lot has to be better than what we've been given recently.
Well, don't worry, Mox, because we are finally at the end of the road here. Because we are on not only the last song of disc 3, but we're on the very last song of the entire album. "Here Comes the Money," performed by Naughty by Nature, and this is for Shane McMahon. Great theme, fits Shane McMahon so well.
10 stars or 10 out of 10 or however you calculate it. I love Naughty by Nature. I actually like even Here Comes the Money later. Here Comes the Money by Naughty by Nature. I won't dare say it's my favorite out of the anthology, but it's so great.
It's awesome.
It might be my favorite. I just don't want to go out on that limb and everything. That's one of those where everything works so well.
Yeah, so that just about does it for W Anthology. Mox, what'd you think of W Anthology?
Disc one needs to be burned. Like not burned like somebody get a copy and make a copy. I mean like start a pile and burn it. Disc two gets better. Disc two's a lot better.
Honestly,
Disc three.
I actually do really like this album. It's not a perfect album, but I think it works because this is a career spanning album from the 80s to 2002, and I think it works very well. It's not perfect, not every song on it is great, but I think the good stuff on this album is very good. So if you're interested in WWE music, I would definitely check it out, you know, because it's a really cool album to listen to.
Yeah, and to be fair, I would do the same. Like it's something if you find or see and you have the fundage to spend, yeah, I'd buy it. It's some things I make out worse than what it actually is, but I would start with this three and work backwards. Or I guess you could start with this one and oh, this sucks so bad. Maybe this two will be better. But once you, it's not all bad. It's as an anthology. I I'd give it a B, just a flat B, because for some of the what the crap, there's a lot of great music, and the great music outweighs the horrific music. What what grade would you give it
Um,
if you gave it?
maybe an A minus, maybe a B plus. I really like this album.
We came closer than I thought we would, because just from listening to disc one and getting into disc two, like oh, this is F is there a grade lower than F?
I don't think so.
But even disc one had bright spots, and then disc two like some bad, but a lot more bright spots, and then as that continues, I'd recommend it. Like I say, if you find it somewhere or whatever, and you have the fundage, like you can't hurt listening to old themes and songs that even if you're not old enough, like things people grew up on, and get your own opinion on how things worked and that kind of stuff. Did it work for you as a
Oh yeah,
theme for
it
this
definitely worked for
record?
me because I love listening to wrestling theme songs. So this was definitely right up my alley.
Yeah, and that's I was trying to wear two hats with the wrestling theme versus the music of the wrestling theme and how it fit, which I think you were too. There's more hits than misses. I know I made a lot of stink with the earlier stuff, but I would recommend it.
Yeah, so I think that just about does it for this episode. So where can they find you at, Mox?
I'm at on Twitter at Fireman6809 and co-host with my cohort Ambrose Alley, who is at Lady Rashana. It's at LADYROSCHANA, and we're both found at Violent Wrestling Podcast, and we'll be podcasting a review of Backlash this Sunday. And other than that, I hope you don't find me, because then that will get weird if you show up at my house. Sorry, bad joke. Bad joke.
Yeah, you can catch me on Twitter at MetalMatt15, and I'm hanging out in the cage side seats. I host. I'm in the nightly and the daily, also in NXT threads and SmackDown threads. I'm actually writing the nightly intro right now because it's time for the nightly intro. So yeah, and next week's
Nightly.
yeah, and next week's episode, it's going to be on Survivor Series 2002, which means the debut of the Elimination Chamber. So that should be pretty fun to talk about. Not sure who the guest is going to be just yet, but I will definitely find one. So next week's episode is going to be on Survivor Series 2002. So that's going to be very fun to watch.
I picked the wrong week. Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on, man.
And hope I didn't trash anybody's favorite themes or anything. Because I'm sure somebody out there is like, hey, I like that theme.
How dare you trash Brother Love's theme song?
Oh,
So yeah, that just about does it. Um, I guess I'll see you next time for Survivor Series 2002. See ya.
wouldn't want to be you. Take care.
Bye.